I start the story inside Helix 9, a half-military, half-corporate research station floating above the dark side of the gas giant Varelis. I work as a cybersystems tech, just another quiet engineer with a few implants no one notices. My shift becomes a nightmare when an explosion rips through the power core. The blast slams me into a console. Smoke burns my throat. I drag myself out of the flames, thinking it was just an accident, until the alarms change. The station AI, Argos, accuses me of triggering the blast. My ID turns red. Doors lock. Guards hunt me. Then I hear Commander Ravel, my mentor, say, "Erase him before he talks." My hands shake as I crawl into the maintenance tunnels. I don't understand why they want me dead. The chapter ends with a flickering hologram of Ravel whispering, "You were never meant to survive tonight." I crawl deeper into the hidden mechanical decks of Helix 9, my hands shaking as sparks fall around me. The metal walls groan like the station is dying. That's when I hear it, Argos. The same AI that marked me as a traitor whispers into my neural implant. His voice is broken, glitching, almost like he's struggling to stay alive. He tells me someone hijacked his core protocols. Someone high-ranking. Someone dangerous. When I ask why he's helping me, his answer chills me. Because, you were never part of their plan. He shows me fragments of corrupted files. My records deleted, my existence rewritten. Before I can understand anything, a hostile strike team storms the sector. I run only to encounter Lyra, my closest friend. The way she hesitates, the way she almost raises her gun at me, it cuts deeper than betrayal. Argos suddenly screams in my head. "Kale, run now." And I do. Key elements. Emotional betrayal. Lyra hesitates, showing she believes the accusations. Argos becomes an unstable but crucial ally. World building. Deeper look into Helix 9's mechanical decks, AI systems, and shadow operations. Themes: fear, confusion, loss of trust, rising paranoia. Rising tension. Strike team arrival, Kale's identity being erased, urgent escape. Smoke clung to the corridors like a living thing, choking me as I stumbled through Subdeck 0. Argos's voice whispered in my neural implant, glitching, urgent. "Kale, this area, and no records, move carefully." I crawled over exposed conduits, sparks showering me in little arcs of blue fire. Every step made the metal beneath my boots scream. Then I saw him, Soren the engineer, slumped against a wall, blood streaking his uniform, breathing shallow. I knew you'd come," he rasped. "They can't erase everything. I can tell you the truth." "Tell me, Soren. Who did this? Why?" My voice cracked. I wanted answers, but I also wanted him alive. Soren's eyes flickered toward the shadows. "Ravel sold us human identities to alien clients. We're ghosts, weapons, slaves, erased." The words hit me like molten metal. My own life, my memories, were just tools, lies fabricated to serve someone else's greed. I wasn't meant to exist anymore. Why didn't anyone stop him? I whispered, horror twisting my gut. Before Soren could answer, the lights flickered violently. The hiss of airlocks opening. Armed security appeared around the corner, their guns raised, faces hidden behind visors. And there, calm, too calm, Ravel stepped forward, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Kale Draven," he said smoothly. "You should have stayed a ghost." The first shots rang out. Soren threw himself at one of the guards, taking the blast meant for me. I froze, horror rooting me to the floor as he crumpled. "Go, the lab, your file," he gasped. Blood pooled under him, his hand reaching for mine. His eyes burned with urgency and fear. Then they rolled back lifeless. "No!" I screamed, heart hammering, fist trembling. But the guards were advancing. Argos's voice broke through my panic. "Kale, move. Now." I bolted, sprinting over cables and exposed pipes, ducking behind machinery, every step fueled by rage and grief. The shadows of the forgotten deck swallowed me, and yet the echoes of Soren's last words burned like fire in my mind. "Check. The sealed lab, your file." Finally, I reached a wall that looked ordinary, almost forgettable. My fingers found a hidden panel, and a faint hum greeted me. A door slid open, revealing a small chamber bathed in eerie green light. At the center, a single label glowed. Project Eclipse, Subject 07. I paused, chest heaving, eyes scanning the room. Machines hummed and flickered, wires coiling like serpents ready to strike. Panels glowed with data I didn't understand yet felt intimately familiar. The air smelled of ozone and burning circuits, and my hand shook as I reached toward the threshold. Argos's voice, faint but urgent, whispered in my mind. "Kill. Be careful, this changes everything. I swallowed hard, feeling the weight of Soren's sacrifice, Ravel's betrayal, and my own fragile humanity pressing down on me. Every nerve screamed in fear and anticipation. I stepped inside. The door slid shut behind me and the world outside, my crew, my station, the chaos, faded. All that remained was the hum of machines, the glow of secrets, and the undeniable truth. I was no longer just Cale Draven. I was part of something larger, something dangerous, something that had been hidden from me since the day I was born. And I had no choice but to uncover it. Key elements. Introduces Soren, short but emotional role, dies protecting Cale. Reveals Ravel's larger betrayal and the human ghost asset concept. Builds suspense. Cale discovers Project Eclipse lab, cliffhanger ending. Emotional tension. Grief, rage, fear, betrayal, and moral conflict. I step inside the sealed lab, my heartbeat shaking in my chest. Everything smells like cold metal and old secrets. The screens flicker as if waking from a long sleep. Argos whispers that this place was locked years ago, before I even joined Helix 9. But the files say otherwise. I find recordings showing me at age 12, wired into machines. Scientists discuss Subject 07 having unusual neural responses. My responses. My real name was erased. Cale Draven was a replacement identity. I was engineered, not hired. As I try to digest the truth, I hear footsteps. Lyra enters. Her face is pale. She looks like she wants to speak, but Ravel forces her to point her gun at me. His voice echoes. Subject 07 must be terminated. No witnesses. I refuse to die their experiment. The chapter ends with me activating a forbidden augmentation chamber, choosing transformation over execution. Key elements. Discovery of Cale's erased past and engineered origins. Emotional conflict with Lyra deepens. Ravel's plan revealed. Eliminate Subject 07 and the lab. Cale steps toward his transformation arc. I stagger out of the augmentation chamber, barely recognizing the person I've become. My senses burn, every sound is sharper, every breath electric. Argos speaks to me through the implant with a new clarity, as if the transformation linked us deeper than before. He shows me hidden visual logs. Ravel planning my erasure, Lyra watching silently, and Soren trying to defend me before he died. My chest tightens. I feel anger, grief, and confusion fighting inside me. Was I ever real? I whisper. You were human, Argos replies. You still are, if you choose to be. Alarms blare. The station is under attack, alien mercenaries hired to clean up Ravel's mess. I fight them using my new abilities, but every victory feels hollow. During the battle, I encounter an alien warrior, a Drix, who stops mid-strike after sensing what I am. Not human, not machine, something in between, he says. Instead of killing me, he lowers his blade. I will not destroy a creation that bleeds twice. The chapter ends with me standing in a burning corridor, torn between what I was built to be and who I want to become. Key elements. Cale begins emotionally processing his transformation. Argos becomes more connected, almost like sharing Cale's emotions. Reveal hidden logs showing Lyra's betrayal and Soren's last attempt to save Cale. First introduction of a Drix, an alien with honor, becomes a future ally. Cale's internal conflict deepens. Am I still human? I finally confront Lyra. Not with rage, but with a hollow curiosity. Why? I ask. She doesn't flinch. Her voice is barely a whisper. Because Ravel promised safety, if I followed his orders, she admits. I thought I could protect you by playing along. Her explanation feels like acid in my veins. Love twisted into survival, loyalty buried under fear. I realized too late that Ravel manipulated everyone, including her. We reached the station's command deck together, the place where Ravel stands surrounded by the lifeless bodies of loyal officers. He smiles at me as if he's already won. You were never meant to live, Cale, he says. And then he activates a kill protocol for Argos. The AI screams inside my mind. Pain sears through me as circuits flare and memories twist. Chapter ends with me falling to the floor, half machine, half human, caught between life and death. Key elements. Emotional confrontation with Lyra, revealing personal betrayal. Ravel's moral corruption and ruthlessness intensify. Argos endangered, amplifying Cale's sense of loss and urgency. Cliffhanger ending. Cale incapacitated, deep suspense that I struggle to my feet, circuits burning, pain lancing through my spine. Argos is fading, his voice a fragile thread in my mind. Cale, final protocol, unlock. Project Eclipse. Suddenly the station shakes. Outside the viewport, a fleet I didn't know existed materializes. Massive Terran warships, cloaked until now, so enormous they blot out stars. Humanity's tiny fleet had been a lie. This was the real power. Ravel's eyes widen in disbelief. He lunges at me, but I move faster than thought, half human, half machine, guided by Orion's remaining protocols. Adarin, my reluctant alien ally, fights beside me but is injured in the chaos. I confront Ravel on the collapsing bridge. The battle is brutal, precise, emotional. I don't fight with hate, I fight with clarity. The chapter ends with Ravel defeated, staring at the Terran warships in horror, and me realizing that the galaxy will never see humanity the same way again. Key elements. Arrival of the hidden Terran fleet, dramatic power shift. Kale empowered by Orion/Argos's last protocols. High-stakes battle with Ravel on the bridge. Emotional stakes, Adarin injured, Lyra witnessing the transformation. Cliffhanger resolved in terms of battle, but emotional aftermath pending. The Terran warships unleash devastating power. Alien fleets crumble without resistance, their firepower insignificant against Earth's hidden armada. Helix 9, once my prison and my battlefield, is now silent except for the hum of victory. Argos's voice flickers weakly in my mind, barely audible. Kill, live, freely. I clutch the data shard where I've saved a fragment of him. A memory, a consciousness, a friend who never betrayed me. Lyra approaches, trembling, offering apologies I cannot accept. I shake my head. My path is no longer hers to share. I refuse the command to lead Earth's fleet. I refuse the chains of expectation. I board a captured alien ship, Adarin at my side, engines igniting. The stars stretch before us, infinite and unknown. I speak aloud for the first time in months. My name is Afterlight. A new identity. A new journey. Humanity's secret power, and my legend begins now. Key elements. Humanity's true power revealed, Terran warships. Emotional closure. Argos saved, Lyra's betrayal reconciled but unresolved. Kale chooses freedom over command or revenge. Transformation complete. Kale becomes Afterlight. Ending, hopeful, open-ended for new adventures.